My ex-wife leaving me out of nowhere, blindsiding me, was the most painful thing I ever had to go through. It felt like fucking hell, but it ended up being the best thing to ever happen to me because it set me free. Free of thinking and behaving like a boy, free of waiting for things to happen to me, free of letting women control my emotional state, my happiness, and my sex life. This was my first introduction into a concept called kingship. Me and my ex were together for 8 years, and it started very well. We lived together and we loved each other very much, but it slowly started going downhill. And then when I lost my job and started making less money, it all blew up. We began fighting a few times a week. We stopped having sex. We became like roommates. It was the end of our relationship. I couldn't bear the thought of leaving her because I was a nice guy. I'm so kind. I genuinely loved her. Even though we were both very miserable, I stayed, trying to talk, trying to fix things. I didn't have the experience or the tools to understand what was actually happening. I kept thinking things would get better once I make more money, once we talk things out, we fix things. I kept believing that I could heal her with my love, with my patience, and I saw us growing old together. Then one day she texted me, "It's over." And just like that, 8 fucking years of my life ended in a text message. That was the lowest point of my life, and I didn't see it coming. Everything we had built together was gone. It was a shock. I knew I would recover, but I was sad, I was depressed, I was angry. Angry at her, but angry at myself most of all. For 2 years after that, two words kept repeating in my mind. I'm done. I'm done being too nice, done giving without getting. I'm done finishing last. What I didn't realize until much later was how much I let myself go in this relationship. I gained 40 kilos in 2 years. Let that sink in. I was miserable. I was filling the void with food, with video games, instead of working on myself, on my purpose. And she wasn't empowering me the way a woman should. She was draining me. She was making me miserable. And I kept showing up because I didn't know any better. But there was a book that I had been thinking of. It was sitting in the back of my mind for a while. No More Mr. Nice Guy by Dr. Robert Glover. And at this low point, I finally picked it up and it connected everything. It linked back to my childhood, the wounds I carried as a kid growing up without a father, being bullied, being neglected, how it affected me to not have social skills or healthy self-esteem, what many people call CPTSD. It also connected my ADHD, my inability to cope with life, and left me struggling to focus for even 30 minutes a day. And the medication they put me on that damaged my nervous system and my brain. The social anxiety that crept in whenever I was around people that left me not understanding what I deserve in a relationship and making me accept less and pushed me to isolate from the world because I didn't know how to handle it. For the first time, I could see everything. I understood that my mind was programmed against me. I never knew why, but finally I saw this hole, this massive gap of understanding in myself, in women, in life. And I understood it wasn't about her. It was never about her. I got that I was lacking kingship. Not just confidence, not money, kingship. The ability to lead myself before I could lead a woman or anybody else for that matter. The ability to have a vision for my life instead of just reacting to anything uncomfortable that was happening. A man without kingship drifts. He loses discipline the moment it becomes uncomfortable. He loses focus when he doesn't know what to do. And the distractions come, the porn, the video games, the food, the gambling, the weed, the alcohol, whatever it is. And I understood that I have to change this, that I was living like this, and that billions of men around the world are the same, living without kingship. After I understood this, I couldn't stop. I started reading everything I could get my hands on, mastering the mind, communication, relationships, polarity, psychology, money, marketing. Every skill I had neglected, every area of my life I allowed to collapse while I was busy saving a relationship that gave me nothing and took everything from me. I was never going to allow this to happen to me again. Slowly, everything changed though. Finally, I got my shit together. I got focused. I got disciplined. I started building. I launched a men's group. I built coaching programs. I sold them. I traveled the world. I got healthy. I finally got my life back. And after everything I went through, I found something that changed the game entirely. A framework unlike anything else I had come across. It splits your mind literally into four parts, four archetypes that every man carries inside him. It shows him exactly what you are built to do, where you're getting stuck. And it's something that kings throughout history understood about power, about leadership, about living with purpose, which, by the way, is the truest source of happiness for a man, something a woman cannot come close to replace. This framework is easy enough for anybody to apply and it works. And I'm teaching it for free inside my new group, Kingship University. So if you're done being too nice, if you're done being taken for granted, if you're done watching your life pass by while you wait for things to happen to you, come join us. The link is in the bio. I'm excited to see you use this framework to take your life back just like I did. See you in the group.